purpose of this video is to help people see where XBRL-based digital financial reporting is going to go. So people have always said that XBRL will work correctly when the technology disappears into the background, and that's what I'm hoping to do by helping to create this application. And I'm showing you what we have thus far. There's still a long way to go, but you can start seeing some of the things that give you clues about how this stuff is going to work, how easy it can be if it's built correctly. So I'm going to create a new report. Report's been created. I am going to go to a list of reporting schemes. I can use any of these reporting schemes. I'm going to use this small one here because it helps you get the idea of how the application works. This is a real reporting scheme. It's about 20% complete, and this is a real reporting scheme, but it's not modeled correctly. But this one is modeled correctly, and it'll give you an idea of how things can work. So I selected the reporting scheme. There's a smart cache. There's information that's been cached in a database. I can update it. I don't need to update it because it hasn't changed. I'm reading that cache, and this is the information for that reporting scheme. So I'm going to expand that and show you. The point here is that we have 2 different ways to create a balance sheet, 3 different ways to create an income statement, 1 way to create a cash flow statement, 1 way to create a statement of changes in equity. The point is that there are alternatives, so there's variability in a report, and the application has to deal with that. So I'm going to select that balance sheet, that income statement, this cash flow statement, and this changes in equity. This is the 4-statement model, and I've created 4 statements. So I would expect 4, and I'm creating 4. So now I'm going to import the structures, the associations, the rules, and some facts, some pro forma facts into this report creation tool, which is an expert system for creating financial reports. And I've created a report. I can view that report. So there's a view. It just gave me pro forma. It's not a complete report, put in zeros, but it's a report. It's complete, and it validates correctly against the rules. We'll see in a second. It should validate just fine, unless I made a mistake. So as it's validating, I'm showing you the manual entry of information. There are 2 other ways. I'll come back to that. So anyway, the report is completely valid. You can see the technical analysis. There's the balance sheet right there. Everything is valid per all these rules. It's not the report I want, but the report is correct, and all I've got to do is change things about the report and keep it correct, and it'll be correct again when I re-verify it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to input information manually to show you how this will work. So I have sitting in front of me a report, and I'm basically going to duplicate that report. And so as I said before, I'm putting these facts in manually. Another way to do this would be to use an API and just pump information into this report. That'll work. Or you can use an Excel spreadsheet and import information into this report. Both of those are trivial. This is actually the hardest, the most time consuming. And it's the hardest to build a graphical user interface to perform these tasks. But that's what I'm showing you. We have that, and it works. So I'm going to start creating this report, and you'll see some interesting things. Like now you see that this cell turned red. The reason it's red is because the math doesn't add up. That says 0, and these don't add up to 0. They add up to 3,500. And once they do, then that turns red. So basically, the application is watching over the creation of the facts and verifying that you are following the mathematical rules that are in the application. And those rules are specified using XBRL. And you don't see any XBRL. It's just all happening in the background. So this is the second period. And again, all I'm doing is I'm reading a Word document that has the report in it, and I'm putting in these numbers. This is, what an accountant might do, or they may copy paste information into the report, or they may use the API, like I said, or import from Excel. Lots of different ways to do it. You're just seeing the manual way. So again, now everything should add up. I'm not sure why that's not adding up. That seems like it might be a bug, or maybe that I think is a bug. So now I'm going to add another period. And all I really need to do is tell the application what period, and it added more facts. So now that turned green. So there's some sort of a bug in the application. So this is the third period I have. And this is monotonous, but sometimes this is the way it's done. If you think about using TurboTax, sometimes you can import things, sometimes you have to key them in. So this is 3 periods. So I actually have a total of 4 periods. So I'm going to add one more period. So notice I can delete periods also, delete facts for this period. So that this is correct. This is the beginning of the company, and it had 0. So this balance sheet is correct. So now I'm going to move on to the income statement. So there's the income statement. I have 1 period. I need a total of 3 periods, but I'm going to add them one at a time. So I notice, again, the math check is working. And so here you have some positive, some of these are debits, some of these are credits. If I'm in the edit view, but if I can turn to the human readable view, I get the dollar signs, and I get the parentheses, and the things that should be shown as negative are shown negative. So now I'm going to add another period. Now I'm going to set the values for this period. And I have one more period. is 2019, and this is so everything adds up. And again, I can view it. So now I'm going to move to the next statement, which is the cash flow statement. And you can see that these numbers are already coming from the balance sheet. So this is giving you an error because it's also checking the roll forwards. And it gives you an error because I don't have the numbers in there yet for the cash flow. So I'm going to put the numbers in. So now watch what happens at the bottom. That fact and that fact are the same. And when I put that value in, that fact gets set, and then the roll forward adds up. So now I need to add another period, another roll forward. So I don't want 2019 yet. I want 2020. So notice that there's nothing particularly technical about what I'm doing. Unless, it's technical from an accounting perspective. You have to understand the accounting logic. But if you do, then everything works. So again, this period now adds up. So I'm going to add another period. And this is so now again everything adds up. View it and move on to the next statement. Changes in equity. So you see most of the values are already filled in because they come from other statements. A couple that are not. This should be 600, and then that adds up. This should be so this is basically, imagine you're reading a trial balance and you're just keying information from your trial balance and you're creating the report that way. That's how this would work. Or if you're just keying information into TurboTax or something like that. Again, you don't have to do it this way. You can use an API to pump information in. You can use Excel to import information. I'm hoping to get copy paste. I'm not sure if that'll work in a cloud application. So now I have the full report created and I can see the report. There's my report. It's simple, but again, it covers the use cases. I can change I'll give you the style sheet for the report and change the color. You can change this. This is just a style sheet. You can edit the style sheet and present this however the heck you want to present it. And now I'm going to validate the report, and I believe that it will be correct because I put all the information from the Word document that I'm looking at to enter this information. If I made a mistake, a math mistake, I will be notified, but the application already told me that I didn't make any math mistakes. So, and here's the verification. All these things are correct. Behind the scenes, the rules have all been connected correctly. And you don't see that because you wouldn't have to do that, because the people that build taxonomies, if they build them correctly, they can check all these things. And here's the verification report. So let's just go to the cash flow statement. There's the information. There's the roll up of net cash flow. There's the roll forward. this is the XBRL instance that was generated. It's already on the internet. So again, security would dictate whether this is publicly available or just privately available. You can download an Excel version of the logic of the report, and then re-import that and create another report, or do whatever you want to modify it in Excel. You can download the XBRL. So there's the XBRL file, and I'm going to open it. There's all the files. What else should I show you? So just to be clear, so I showed you this. I selected this financial reporting scheme. It's a prototype. It's used for testing. All of these financial reporting schemes use the same framework. They all work in exactly the same way. This would include the IFRS or SASB, Sustainability Reporting Taxonomy, or IFRS for SMEs. I think I'm going to call that good. This is the way that XBRL will work in the future. It's not there now, but we're getting very close. This application is probably, I would say, 10% complete. It might look more complete, but it's actually only about 10% complete. We have a lot more expert system functionality that's going to be built into the application. And I'll stop there.